see you. I just wanted to start with some of the team news ahead of the game this weekend. How is Jakub Solarczyk doing?
Jakub has been feeling better, so obviously not much training, but the good thing is that he's feeling much better.
Will he be available for the game this weekend?
We're going to have a discussion and we're going to take a decision today.
Yeah, Caleb McCauley as well. I know you said that there was a chance he might have been fit for the game against Southampton, obviously not to be. How is he doing?
We were waiting for some tests to get an answer when he could be ready. Unfortunately, those tests came back with news that he will be away probably for a few weeks with a knee injury. So that's where we are at the moment. He will be available for selection. Hopefully, perhaps it's difficult to say if it's going to be before or after Christmas, but around that.
You've got, of course, a growing list of injuries at the moment. Are there any other players who might be coming back from injuries that would be available this weekend?
Everybody is progressing well. Obviously, we got Harry Suter that is training back with the team. That's very good news for everyone, but glad especially for him after such a long period away. But obviously he will need now to get some rhythm after 1 year away. So about the rest, I think that Aaron is progressing well, but not close yet. And the last news about Victor and about the rest of the guys.
Is there anyone else that's picked up any news in the game this weekend, maybe from Tuesday or in training this week?
Not everyone. No, everybody else is fine.
Just looking back on Southampton, a few days on, what are the lessons that you've taken away from that game?
Definitely was a disappointing game, and disappointing for us because we were trying to build some momentum after the previous games and picking two wins in a row, going there with some expectations. And definitely it's a strange game the way it developed the first half, but it was disappointing for us, for the fans who travel long trip away midweek. So definitely frustrating, but obviously we had honest conversations about the things that we need to be better. And I think it has been an important reflection point.
How do you feel that those conversations have gone? Have they been beneficial? Have you seen the reactions that you would have hoped to after having those kind of conversations?
Well, definitely tomorrow we will see. Of course, I've been speaking to the group. I've been speaking individually to many players, doing what usually as a manager you will do. But it's definitely very important to understand that this is not about. I spoke about changing the mentality. It's not about the blame culture. It's about trying to learn from every situation, trying to be stronger when you lose, when you win, when you draw. Try to be better every day, and not finding excuses. We could say that was a strange game because of the way it developed the first half with the first goal, then the red card and the third goal. But I'm not here to focus on this. I'm here to focus on how we can perform better, and that has been definitely the approach.
How important is it to try and regain the momentum that you had picked up just before the international break with the win against Norwich and then the win against Stoke as well, heading into this game this weekend?
Yeah, very important because good teams react after disappointment. I think it's so important that at home as well, we create that feeling that we are a strong team at home, and at the same time we know that the table is so tight. It's important at this moment of the season we get a good dynamic, a good rhythm, and it's not an easy game to play away against Southampton, but it's more the disappointment about the way it happened, the way it was. So I think it's definitely important for many reasons that we show a strong reaction tomorrow.
You talked there about how tight the table is at the moment. I think when anyone can look at it, see all the way down to 14th, 15th place, all the way up to third is so congested. I suppose that puts extra emphasis on the ideals that you talked about a couple of weeks ago, that actually if you are able to pick up momentum, win a string of games, then it can put you in a much healthier position heading into the really busy Christmas time.
Yeah, I think the most important is to focus on ourselves. Obviously, the position on the table, it helps to understand where you are in terms of performances, but when you see how tight and how competitive is this division, you understand that the small edges are so important. So for us, it's very important again to look at ourselves, how we can improve our level during the games, how we can pick that consistency during the games and from game to game, and that's what my focus is, because I know that the most important Obviously, we don't want the difference in between the top of the table and us to increase, just the opposite. But at the same time, for me, the most important is to make sure that the team improves, and then I know that this will reflect on the table.
How do you look ahead to the game this weekend in your analysis of Sheffield United?
Yeah, definitely a team that has started the season probably not in the way they wanted. Then an experienced manager that knows the club really well comes in, comes back, I would say. And then definitely the team has improved over the last games. So they got players that they know really well this division. That actually last season, many of them had a very strong season in the same league. And yeah, they are now in a good moment after these last games, last results, and a team as well that has changed slightly from I would say how they were playing 2 months ago and how they are playing at the moment. So it's very important that we understand where are their strengths. They got some players that are performing at good level at the moment, but at the same time to remind that we know that when we play at our best, we can be a very strong team in the league.
What are the changes that you've seen between, as you say, a couple of months ago under Ruben Sellers to what Chris Wilder's doing now?
Yeah, probably I would say that they have changed slightly the way they play. They tend to build in a different way by pushing one of the fullbacks. I think that O'Hare, that is an important player for them, has now in the last games occupying a position as well that is important for them, playing the last 3 games with 2 strikers. They change in the midweek, so they could change to change both the strikers and still get the 3 points. So it's definitely a team that at the moment has picked some good dynamic, and again we need to move on quick from our Southampton result and try to get back to the good dynamic we got before that.
Martí, thank you very much. Best of luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir. We'll go to Jim Connell.
Hi Marty, good speaking to you again. Marty, if I can start off, the playmaker role in behind the striker, it's always been an important role for Leicester City over the years, especially in the last decade. You had the likes of James Maddison, you had maybe Dewsbury Hall filling that role, Harvey Barnes sometimes coming off the wing. Jordan James occupies that role now at the moment. 13 games in, 3 goals and 1 assist. What traits does he bring to that role that makes him different? But also, did you like him in that role?
Yeah, I mean, JJ is a very important player for us, and I think it has been definitely a great signing so far for the club. Actually, I would say that his best position is what I could define more as an 8 than not as a 10, but he has the ability to play in both positions. Obviously, we know that in the beginning of when I arrived here, we had Bilal El Kanous playing in this 10 role, plus Bobby Cordova-Reid, that both of them were naturally number 10s, I would say, despite Bobby has been playing as well on the wing and can play on the wing through his career. But then because of the injuries, we got Aaron Ramsey in when Bilal left. Aaron as well is what I will say a natural 10 in our system. He was doing really well, but unfortunately, the beginning has not been easy for him, with first picking a red card and then this injury that he suffered after a few games where he was playing very well. And the case with Bobby is that actually we have been managing him. So when I arrived, he was injured. He picked an injury with the national team before the summer. Then when I came here, he was recovering from this one. So when we start to get some rhythm, he picked, after another international break, he picked another small injury. But he's an important player for us because of his experience. Now regarding JJ, a very important player for us because of his energy, his capacity to score goals from the second line. His capacity as well to play in the pockets, but as well on the base. He's got these legs, this physicality that allows him to cover a lot of pitch, both when we are in possession and out of possession. And I'm very happy for him, with him as well. And whenever he plays as a 10, he does the job. Whenever he plays as an 8, obviously it's more natural for him, but doing a very important job for the team.
Yeah. And Marty, they say the league position never lies. And 2 stats I'm curious about there. Your goals for is 20. Your goals against is 20, so that means you leveled out on that. But if you look at Coventry City, the current leaders, they're on 47 goals. I'm just looking down at some of your main attacking players there, and 5 out of the 6 forward players, apart from Abdul Fatih, have got maybe 2 goals or less so far this season. And I look at maybe your last opponent, Southampton, Adam Armstrong. He's got 6 goals in 17 games, so he's got more goals than 5 of your attacking players so far this season. We know firepower is important in terms of being in the mix. Do you think that's an area that maybe the returns need to improve?
Yeah, I mean, I never said that the team is playing at the highest level, because definitely we can improve on that. At the same time, I'm aware that most of those players were here last season and they play Premier League football. So I think that all of us, we know that we can improve, that those players need to show as well the hunger and the quality that they got on them. And I'm here to try to help them to achieve this. So there is definitely an area of our game that we want to improve, not only through the stats, but as well the way we perform, because I said many times, I'm not that concerned about who scored the goals, but the fact that we score more goals. And so far, 20 is a number that I'm not very happy with.
And I suppose, Marty, you can't beat the infectiousness of youth in the Championship and that energy it provides for a long, rigorous Championship campaign. And people will look at Leicester from the outside and they'll say they're an experienced team, but they're an ageing side. If you look at maybe IU 34, Winks 39, Begovic 38, Pereira 32, Vestergaard 33, Dakova Reed 32, all experienced players, maybe coming to the latter stages of their career now, but an awful lot of them with more Premier League experience than Championship experience.
I think that we got a good balance with a lot of, as you said, experienced players that can bring that in important moments of the games and important parts of the season. I'm happy with all of them. I'm happy as well with the energy that we got from the young players. We got a lot of academy players that this season they are having the debut seasons and or getting the first minutes, so to say. Some others perhaps they got few minutes last season, but they are having more like a more established year for them, like Louis Page, like Jeremy Monga, like Bade Luco. That I think that there are many that are giving us this balance into what I think it's an important season for us in terms of everybody contributing in the best way. And in that case of the experienced players, definitely they will help us as they have been helping the young players through the season.
And final one for me, Marty, just on Sheffield United, they're looking for their third straight win in a row. There's probably, we all know Sheffield United were probably in a false position given the amount of quality that they had in their squad at the start of the season. Chris Wilder has come in and he's proven that so far, that this is a very capable squad. But they have an awful lot of winners in their squad in terms of Championship level. Danny Ings has got promoted at this level. Patrick Bamford has got promoted at this level. Gustavo Hamer has got promoted at this level. Callum O'Hare. An awful lot of goals, an awful lot of experience, but an awful lot of winners in terms of the Championship level as well. They're hitting form at the moment. Is that a concern for you that you're next up to play them?
No, good for them. They are a quality team, and I think that everybody was a bit surprised about the start of the season. But I just focus on this game. I have huge respect for Chris and Sheffield United as a club, and as I said, they're a good team with a lot of quality players. But my only focus is to beat them tomorrow, and from there, I wish them all the best.
Best of luck, Marty.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rob. We'll go to Owen from BBC Hoods. Sorry, Jim, if we just get the mic going. Thank you.
Hi, Marty. Just a couple from me. Is there any update on the hearing on the financial charges this week?
No.
And I wonder how important you think momentum is. 2 wins on the bounce and then a loss. How important is it to reclaim some of that momentum?
Yeah, very important. I think that we cannot keep looking back to what happened at Southampton. Obviously, we had 2 days to analyze, to really be tough on ourselves and admit that we were not good enough, we were not at the level that we wanted. But now it's time to move on. We got a new opportunity tomorrow, and I think that's a little bit the kind of mentality that I've been talking about. We cannot just find excuses. We cannot just find, feel sorry for ourselves about what happened last season, about what happened last game, about what happened this first half, about what happened in the last pass. It's just about the next action. It's about the next game. It's about what's happening now, and we got a good opportunity in front of us to try to get back to the momentum that we're trying to build, to try to find this consistency that I've been saying through the games and from game to game that is so important for us, because you can see how tight, how competitive is this league. And then if you want to be up there at the end of the season, you need to maintain this level through different periods of the season. And now we're in an important one.